I do it.
All right, right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. As you all fall in, remember that you can get anything in our store and get 30% off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band, and we got some new stuff in the store. I just put some new stuff in there, so check that out. Also, don't forget that the Fuel Your Passion scholarship fund is still going on, so don't forget that you can donate to that. Link is inside the description as well. All right, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. First of all, yes, all they do it. They do it.
All they do it. All they do it.
Everybody heard you saying that, Quan. That's why. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all good. But let's start off like we always start off. Quan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. Prepping for UIL. UIL is next Thursday. I had one of my professors came today, Mr. Bertman from University of Houston, did a great band clinic. Uh, so we just getting ready for next Thursday.
Straight ones. That's what we talking about.
You feel me? Straight
ones
ones.
on stage, ones in the sight reading room. That's what we getting for.
You feel me? And then we made history, baby. It's never been done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until next Thursday.
Then you can retire.
Yeah. Real talk.
I'm just saying, man, put it in the atmosphere.
Hey.
Portia, how you doing?
I'm tired today.
Okay.
I'm about to say, what the hell?
I am.
Hey, we can tell you tired. It took that long to
tired
unmute
today.
the button. Hit the unmute button,
I know. I don't know where things are on this new thing yet, but I'm tired, but all is well. No complaints other than I need a good night's sleep, but
All is well.
Well, we're gonna try to make sure that we get you in and out. Or either that. Or based on the conversations, we're gonna wake you up. Either one may happen. Either one may. We will see. Also, shout out to all the new subscribers, man. I want to make sure I give y'all a bunch of love. And then also super chats are on. So if you have anything that you want to say or anything that you want read right here as we are going through our conversations, go ahead and put the super chat in. Remember, you can start at $1, $2, $3, $4, whatever, man. But go ahead and donate. Or again, if you want to donate and you don't want to give a super chat, where you can donate to? Oh, Fuel Your Passion Scholarship Fund. You see, we got multiple ways for you to do either donate to the channel or donate for a good cause, specifically for these young babies trying to get to somebody's university, somebody's HBCU band. So go ahead and donate. I am not going to tell you not to donate. You can give as much as you want to give. And remember, we do not have a cap on that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the jump off and let's talk about it. I want to really start right at the top and go ahead and get into it. We were kind of talking a little bit off air, but we're going to talk about it on air. As you all know, there has been a band director that is under investigations at Southern University for the hazing death of Mr. Caleb Wilson. He is on, 30-day leave? Was that paid?
Yep.
I think I missed that. Was it paid leave or was it just leave?
It's paid.
All right. And so I know what I said on LBR. And the first thing that I said is I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to say that he was specifically a part of the particular situation because he is the president of the alumni chapter. And because he's the president of the alumni chapter, he is an overseer of what happens at the undergraduate chapter. And because of that, they're more or less trying to make sure that he was not involved, or the graduate chapter was not involved in the.
He the president of the graduate chapter, right?
That is correct. That
Yeah.
is correct. So, with that being said, what are your thoughts about all that information, Portia? I know that we kind of were talking off air, but just to bring that conversation here forward, what are your thoughts on all that information?
Um, I don't know whether he was involved or not, but um, I know Zeta over the last couple of years has started putting things in place to hold graduate chapters responsible for the things that happen under their purview as far as it relates to undergraduate chapters. Even going so far as to put graduate chapters on C&D, members of the undergraduate council on cease and desist if something happens, to ensure that those members of the graduate chapter, the bachelor president of the graduate chapter, or members of the undergraduate advisory council, the undergraduate advisors, don't have anything to do with, don't have any knowledge of. So I don't know if you can conclude one way or the other from him being placed on leave, if he had any knowledge or knew about anything that was going on. It could be simply based on his affiliation with the organization and serving in a role that oversees the undergraduate chapter. That's part of the reason I was tired. We had been doing it for a while, but that's part of the reason that I had stopped being an undergraduate advisor, because at this age, I ain't got time to be losing my letters over something I wasn't even there for. So,
So you just took the
yeah.
necessary precautions to get yourself out the way early, just in case.
Yeah, man, I ain't got time. I probably did some things in my life that should have got my letters snatched, but at this age and at this stage, I ain't going down for something I don't know nothing about.
Fair.
So I don't know if we can read. Like I said, I think a lot of organizations, and I know firsthand that Zeta has been putting some things in place to kind of ensure that people in the graduate chapter aren't complicit in things, and sometimes proximity can get you in a tight spot. So it'll be interesting to see. I know what it's like to be associated with an undergraduate chapter and what kind of responsibility comes with that. And you are the overseers of an undergraduate chapter. I know at least in Zeta, all undergraduate chapters have to be associated with a grad chapter, have to have advisors from that graduate chapter. So this could be simply him being put under the microscope because he's the president of the grad chapter. So
Correct.
we'll see. Yeah, they didn't say, so all of this at this moment, we just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, and that's why I said, when I first found out about it, I was like, I don't know if it's time to panic yet. I don't know if it's time to go ahead and just
No.
condemn this man off jump because of the fact that we don't know the level of
Right.
information just yet. Um,
I do
Quan.
think
Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I do think from a perspective of you're a band director, this young man was under your purview in one way or another, that has to be a difficult situation for him, one way or the other. This is your organization. This is a undergraduate chapter under your purview, and one of your students is gone. Like, I can't imagine that situation or being in that situation. So, yeah.
All right, Quan. What's your thoughts on this, man? Let's fill us in. Let's hear your thoughts.
Uh, bruh, the old folks would say six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, where I'm from. And I say that because, we can't panic because we don't know, like Portia said, like what is his affiliation with this? Like, what is he actually responsible for, right? Um, yes, he's the grad chapter president. Um, now I know. and Alpha, whomever was involved, because we have what's called IMDP training and risk management training. Whoever was involved at this particular point, if they knew about it, and when they go through that thorough investigation, first of all, they're getting expelled. That's number one. And then number two, uh, because it was this is classified as, I believe it was what manslaughter or something like that. I know it was a felony count of hazing, but I can't remember the formal charge. Um, but because it's involved with that, it's like those people would have been expelled for sure, like already now. I think honestly, you have to look at this from a fraternal approach and then a criminal approach, right? So it's two different things. When it comes to the fraternal aspect, really that part is minuscule compared to like what's in front of them. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so we can't panic. We just continue to empathize and sympathize with the family. But I do have, as of right now, nothing is uncovered. I do have empathy for the band director because it's like Portia said, that is your student. He possibly came to you. 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. You wrote a letter for that boy. And if
Yep.
we gonna keep it 1,000, I don't want to say. Let me be clear. I don't want to say he possibly forewarned him about anything. I mean, I say that. I don't want to come across like that. But for the people that were interested in our organizations, you kind of the ones we was like, I'm writing a letter on you. I'm placing you on the shield. You kind of gave them a heads up of whatever is about to take place. And I'm not talking about glazing, so to speak. I'm just talking about paperwork, events to attend. You might want to, go visit this brother and understand that voting counts like this and X, Y, and Z. Now we've all been there. Um, right now, in on the flip side of it, because this is national news, the media, the district attorney, and even real talk, the state of Louisiana is looking for everyone who's wrong, and everything is going to be magnified. And honestly, I would hate um for him to like not be involved, to literally be clueless, but your name involved in it now because you're
Right.
guilty by the court of opinion, the public opinion. Because
And
everybody's
let
gonna
me
be like,
say
"Oh, he knew
this.
about it." Mhm.
Yeah. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. He could
Yeah,
not know nothing. I don't let's first of all, I don't know if he crossed through that chapter. Because if he didn't come through that
he
chapter
did.
and he just
He
about
made a
he
signal
did,
though.
okay.
Yeah,
But I don't mean no harm, but I even after I became advisor and I came through that chapter, I told him I don't want to know nothing because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're doing something that ain't in this MIP, I'm gonna throw you under the bus because you're not gonna say I knew. So
right,
to
right.
assume that people know everything that's going on, that's a lie. Cause I told them, hey, I don't care what you heard about me in the past. I don't care how cool you think we are. You tell me something that you ain't supposed to be doing at this juncture in my life. Zeta is a bill. It is not giving me money. Okay, I need my livelihood, and these letters ain't paying no bills. You tell me you're doing something, or I find out you're doing something that you ain't got no business. I'm gonna throw y'all under that bus. And after that, I ain't know nothing that won't in that official process. So I don't want to assume that he has anything to do with this. I don't want to assume that he knew, cause I told him, baby, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. You say it in front of me, you're going down. Cause guess who's not me?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
unfortunately there is sometimes this assumption that just because you are involved in the organization or the chapter that you know everything that's going on. And I've
Right,
said it on multiple occasions that this particular situation was an unsanctioned event. Like just like if you really just think about the organization and what your organization's process is or whatever, it's unsanctioned. So because it's
right.
unsanctioned, that means that not everybody knows what's going
What's
on.
going on? And
Yeah.
not trying to be funny, most of the time, if they smart, You don't know nothing about this. We ain't saying nothing. I mean, because if they go down, your grad chapter go down, this is a whole different ball of wax. So I don't want to assume that he knew anything. If he had been at anything, that would have already been out. So we know that's a
Yeah,
no.
I know a lot of times it's not that you could remove the graduate chapter unless the graduate chapter itself were hosting these particular things, right? But whomever is involved, if you were the graduate chapter, and I think for that particular position, that may warrant a suspension of a graduate chapter. But I know a lot of times they just, catch them people. But
Let me tell
I
you
don't,
something. Zayta not playing
mm,
them games. They shutting
yeah,
down whole chapters.
yeah. And
Everybody.
and I know, and I don't know if Zeta work like this though, but whatever chapter you lose that chapter name, and that chapter gonna be recycled. So when people be like, "Oh, you got to recharter," oh, it ain't rechartering with that same thing again. And for Alpha, it's called keys. Like you lose your key number, like that's a big deal. You know,
Yeah, I think we can pretty much assume. What's their chapter name?
Beta Sigma.
Beta Sigma.
That's the finale. Finish. Finito. If it ever come back to
Yeah.
Southern University, it's gonna be something else.
And if it ever come back, we ain't gonna see it.
No,
Being honest, like
So
we're
you're
not gonna
basically
see it.
saying it
Like
ain't gonna be in
it's
our lifetime.
no.
nah. I don't know. Nah. Because you got to realize, and let's just keep it a thou wise, Maya would say, like we literally, like this ain't new. Like it's sad. It's always been sad. We're not diminishing it, but this ain't new. This is not the first time. I think a few years ago, and I think it was for us, like the bros, like I think it was a young man that was in California. They was like went into the woods, and a guy ended up like freezing to death. Like stupid. I think it was a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago. It was some sorrows that was in California. Somebody died in the ocean or something like that, like a river at one point. Like
That was a
I
long
mean, we
time
had
ago.
these.
somebody.
That was a long
We
time
had
ago. Yeah, I know
somebody
what you're talking
when I was in school. When we was in
Mhm.
school up at Virginia State, try to tread across a river or something down there Petersburg. That's crazy. I ain't doing none of that.
Yeah, so it's like the unfortunate thing is like it's it's not new, but I think now because this generation is more conscious. I think our generation, like now we really look at it like, and we're thinkers. We're like, so why are we doing that? But
But I won't
until
cross in the water at nighttime. Then, now,
period,
ever.
all right. But I think the difference is now we're really thinking like, y'all, like, why are we doing this? Because if I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 in the HBCU community, we condone this type of behavior. Like we just gonna keep it 1,000, and it may not be,
Speak.
you per se, but we really condone it. We all say, man, they don't crab like they used to. We don't, you don't get it out the mud like we used to. They don't have the same, you could tell they ain't getting hands put on. Like the
I'm
HBCU
sorry,
culture is like
but
that.
We do that with
I don't.
everything. It ain't just
But
Greek
how we
organization.
were
It's the
turning
band. It's everything.
Mhm.
crab like I don't know. We didn't never get beat up, so I don't have nothing to compare that to. But here's what I'm gonna say.
Safe haven.
Right?
Hey,
Okay.
look, I went to that safe haven. I'm gonna be honest,
Okay.
Yeah.
and we went in. So
Okay.
hey, we good. We was good over there.
But
Now I will
what
say
I'm a
this before Portia you go. I will say this. I did expect for something to happen. Now I'm not, and that's the culture I come from. I expected something to happen. It just didn't. So, but then
You know how many?
I realized in life then you can be productive without going through that route.
And to Portia to add, like, and I'm not gonna make it seem like Virginia is not the South, but y'all more East Coasters. But
It's
what I
not.
what I'm saying,
It's not the
it's
South.
not the
it's
South.
It's not
Who's
the South.
claiming that?
Okay. So,
Delusional
I mean,
people in
y'all
Virginia.
had slaves. Y'all had slaves. They said it was the South. But anyway,
Well, it's
uh
the Confederate capital, so
yeah, yeah. So my thing is we condoned it, like we pushed it, and it doesn't hit you until you take a loss. I hate to say it, like our people, we don't get the aha moment sometimes until it's too late. We, in
I
regards
just
to
want to
HBCUs,
know. But this is my problem with this whole thing.
mhm.
After he was clearly in distress, you geniuses thought y'all should change his clothes instead of getting him help.
But
Because
see,
in their mind, if we do that, we can absolve ourselves from any wrongdoing. We can
No,
not be
you
a
can't,
part of
because
it.
all y'all had cell phones, geniuses.
Facts. But what I'm saying is, in their mind, that was the thought. We changed his
So
clothes.
now you wasted time. So in this case against you, they're gonna say you didn't place his safety, getting him help in the forefront of your mind. His death probably could have been avoidable, and they're gonna put you ninjas under the jail.
what I was gonna say is this though. But the problem is like, what I was mentioning before, like the problem with HBCUs and us as a culture, we're getting smarter but yet dumb at the same time.
Dumber at the
And then
same time.
and this is what I mean by this. We're so gung ho onto holding to traditions because we feel like as African Americans, we're trying to connect with something. That's why we're really big on traditions. I feel like in our culture, because in American history, the first tradition that they always mention for African Americans is what? Slavery, right? So we try to hold on to the quote unquote good things. There's history books that I've read in regards to the fraternal aspect. A lot of it comes, from Freemasonry and all type of stuff like that. And the pledge process, the intention was that you go through the same type of thing, uh, so that you can be closer together. Some of that process happened to certain founders of certain organizations. And even those founders, there's written history. Just go look it up. They was like, we regret introducing some of this to the fraternity because it's gotten out of hand. And you look at us as from a fraternal aspect, even HBCU aspect from financial, assistance, how there's for the most part always misappropriation of funds, how we're always sometimes shooting us in the foot. We're getting smarter. We're going to school, but we're getting dumber in the same token. In regards to this, what I realize is at the end of the day, the precepts of these organizations should stand for itself. And I could truly say for the last past 2 weeks and since this happened, I had to sit back in and just revamp my mindset because that pledge process really is almost like being brainwashed because we thought that was right. And let me speak for Quan. I thought that was right. I thought this is
I
how it's
agree.
supposed to go down. And it don't hit you until like I've been talking to like frat sisters, frat brothers from Southern, and the whole city of Baton Rouge is grieving. Like it's a different, like they're broken, and this is just the surface. Wait till people get sentenced. Wait till people go to court. Wait till you know what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. It's
It
like
didn't just hit
it's
me. It didn't just hit me. I've been an
yeah.
advisor. This would have been 10 years of me being an advisor, baby. I ain't
Oh
got
wow.
time. I ain't playing. Yeah, I started being an advisor in 2015. No,
Hmm.
I ain't going to. I ain't going to jail. Not behind y'all. No sir.
Hmm.
No. But the other thing
Hmm.
is that I started to see really, really early in my journey that those people who was real, like made, went the hardest, I'm the standard, ain't none of them got an active membership card.
Yeah.
So
So,
abort mission.
but, but, but. Here's the thing though, Portia. I agree with that. Now, as an adult that's 30 plus years, I agree with everything you're saying. But the reality of it is we condone and we do little things in organizations to indicate that you're made. Like, let's not act like we get like in our culture, people don't get line jackets and then they be like made on the back, or
Everybody
they
get
put
line
like a,
jackets now.
yeah, everybody get them, but it's certain things that they put on their jacket to indicate that they're made.
Well,
Like
you can't do that in Zeta.
certain,
We got a lot of rules that you can't.
yeah, like look at certain chapters that be having their chapter may be like Epsilon Row, but that E and that R may be red. And it
Bloody.
ain't got nothing to do. You be bloody. Like it's certain things that we do to say I'm the one that made it. I'm a real one. I'm not paper made. We condone it to the point where you feel less than if you're not.
Well, see,
If you can't go ahead.
no, go ahead. I thought you would hit the period, daddy. But no, go finish up. Finish
No, no,
thought.
no, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's interesting to me because when I hear Portia talk about Zeta, it's interesting because I don't know if it's a fraternity thing or is it just Zeta is just completely different. Because what you're talking about, Quan, I get 100% what you're talking about. I've seen it and I've experienced it. You know what I'm saying? But from her perspective, she's like, that don't happen over here, so we good.
Well, we can't control the people who aren't active or whatever like that, and what you do with your own personal stuff. But I'm gonna say, starting in like 2013, Zeta did a complete overhaul of the MIP process. And when I tell you every single thing is in black and white, it's in black and white. And you
Right.
can try to buck the system if you want to, and you're gonna mess around and not have no letters. That's what you're gonna mess around and do.
I feel you, but and everything
I just don't mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've been in a grad chapter so long. I continue to be active. I never had a gap period. If you're not out here doing that work, I don't care. I just don't care.
I agree. Now, I mean, here's the thing, and this is what I'm sensing, Portia, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think your process, of course, we all have hiccups in our process, but your process was different, you know, to where it's like you have a different concept and mindset of what the sorority is supposed to be. Unfortunately, it's like that type of thinking is light years ahead than a lot of people. When I know because like real talk, I've seen brothers, non-bros, best friends, we glorify your process. And other organizations and amongst men, and in the words of Crystal, have a phallus swinging competition about who was made and who was not, who was this and who was that. And if I have a son, he know he got to come through me to. We do that, and that's
Oh no,
cool
I
until you hear about a
here.
situation like this. You know.
I'm not saying that that doesn't exist.
Mhm.
I just don't care. And what you gonna do to
Right.
me? That's well. The other thing is, I became a Zeta in 2010, but I grew up in Zeta. I did all the youth
Right.
groups. I've been around it since I was a toddler. So
Mhm.
I don't entertain all that. And I get into it with people about it. I don't care about none of that. I don't care. I've always been that way. And then when people didn't like it because that was a different me, I'd be like, so do you want to fight or what? Because I don't care about
Yeah.
none of that.
Why you gotta be so Richmond?
No, I was
Nah,
saying back then. I
but I
don't
feel like but
care.
I feel
Because I
but I just
also
want to
feel
put
like people try to make themselves harder in these letters, but you ain't never won a fist fight in your life. Please.
so I while I respect that while I respect that I'm just nah, but I feel you on that, but I just think you're light years ahead in your thinking. It's
Right.
like your mindset and the way you think is honestly really how the organization stays alive, honestly. over these hundreds of years, like with that type of thinking. You're not the only one, but I'm gonna be real. About 70% of the fraternities, the members, they think like that. Because you only, here's what I realized: you only could give what you have, and you only can do what you was introduced to, because you
Fact,
think that's tradition.
fact.
Until you get with some older brothers and you be like, oh, that's not how it is. Like I never forget, I seen a chapter that was going through some issues like with their numbers. Like they was having issues with how they lined up. Yeah, and of course you do it by height, but what happened was like one group they was made and then the other group didn't. So the ones that was made, they was like, these are our numbers. The ones that quote unquote wasn't made, they
They
gave
got
them
their own
another
up.
type of
Yeah,
number.
in that.
Or-
Right. And I
And
think
so like
all of
that,
that is ridiculous because then are you expecting that once they're on the other side, that they're gonna work together and do what's best for the organization? No, the ones that's quote unquote made is gonna think they better than the rest of them. They gonna treat them bad, and that's why we got so many people walking around here in t-shirts and not paying dues because they never got past how people disrespected them when in the official ritual, ceremony, whatever you want to call it, we all got the same rights and privileges. And if you at 50 still talking about I'm made and you not, you need a life.
right. So with that being said, you're
I
right. And so what
and I
ends up
don't mean no
happening is
harm,
like,
and I'm not trying to be funny. But I would have thought after 2020 and 2021 that all of this should have been let go.
oh, because how people was having COVID lines.
Well,
But guess what?
that,
I know some people, not to cut you off, Luke, but I know some people that they crossed, and then as soon as the free world got back open, they went back
yeah,
because in their mind they wanted to be
they
made.
earn it. They
That's
want
how I'm
to
telling.
quote
That's
earn it.
that's
Yeah.
how bad this is, bro. Like I'm like, and I can't speak about the East Coast, West Coast, but in the South,
It's
it's
big.
just different.
It's
It's
big.
different.
It's not
It's
different.
like,
I just don't give a fuck. I mean, excuse me.
no, we feel you, my love, but I'm telling you, down here,
I'm
it
sorry,
it'll be
bleep
fun.
that.
Hold up.
It
That's just how
beep
I
that.
feel. Like,
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. But I'm literally telling you, like, again, I'm just giving you your roses. You're light years ahead in thinking. But a lot
I'm,
of people out here, dog, it's
it's
been
not just. It's not
choirs.
just. It's not just there, bro. It's not just here. I'm like I ain't here. I ain't from here. But it's not just here,
Yeah.
bro. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Yeah, it ain't just here. But go ahead.
Okay. Now I'm just saying, like, but that mindset is like lets you know that you're a leader,
but
because
at
your
this
your
point, it
mindset.
ain't even being carried on because now we got a mixed bag.
Well, do we
But
have?
we've always had a mixed bag.
I'm about to
Yeah,
say, do
but
we
I
really
mean,
have a
more
mixed
so than
bag?
ever. I mean, it was people. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't even curse like that no more. But that's where I am with this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over it. Like, everybody want to say what they did and what they went through and all that other stuff. And it's just, I'm too old at this point. Is you gonna pay your dues? Is you
Yeah.
gonna come and be active and contribute? You not? Oh, okay. I don't care.
But I mean, Portia. So there's two things that I wanted to throw out here to just kind of throw out to you, and hopefully it sticks. The first thing is we brought up the COVID lines. Outside of what Quan was talking about, where people came off of the COVID line and they were like, we went back. It's some people who ain't go back who are bringing lines in doing stuff that they didn't even do.
That's
That's the
why I
first
said
thing.
I was hoping
But the second
all
Yes.
of
thing
it would
is
go away
right.
because what?
But the second thing is, then the second part about that is the fact that let's not, and maybe Portia you don't, or maybe you do, but let's not act like there were people who became members of organizations that were in sororities that went through their normal process that then went back and said that, all right, now we're gonna go through it the other way to make sure we are good. Cause
What
I
does good mean?
made
Was
good. whatever you want
Cause
to
you know,
say.
I done met some people who was made quote unquote and got beat up, but don't know no info. To me, that's trash. You just let somebody put their hands on you. You learned nothing, so you still don't know nothing about the org. You wasted your time. You
But
just
you
stood
can.
there and became a punching bag. Because if you get quizzed up, you still getting your stuff snatched.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So you
Hey, I
wasted
wish
your
you.
time.
But here's the irony in that.
Literally, you let them
Here's the
beat you
irony in
up.
that though. Here's the irony in that though. There are some people that just there are some people who will be like, "Hey, I seen them come through though, so they good, regardless of whether
And
they
I'm gonna
know. I
say,
seen them. I was
that's
there. I was at the
fine.
house.
That's fine. I'm gonna take their stuff and then I'm coming for yours next.
Hey, we not knocking it, Portia. We not your enemies,
I'm
baby.
not saying you're wrong. I ain't saying you're wrong.
We not mad. I like we agree. But I'm just giving you the other side of it. And here's the
Oh,
crazy
I know
thing.
that it exists. I
Yeah.
just don't care.
But here's the crazy thing. I think the difference is, and I'm gonna say it like this. You have a lot of people that truly I realize they haven't identified their self-worth and know who they are. So they're willing to go through that to be a part. Real talk. And as you get older, you realize that's what it is. So yeah, I'm willing to. Some people they're willing to be a punching bag, and then some people they really don't know about it. Like some of the people, the best people, it's like they didn't know nothing about organizations, about pledging or nothing like that, and they just get online and then they finish it and they be like, I'm not never gonna do this, and they never do it. That's some of the best, some of the
And
best
I know some of
chapter
them that's the
advisors.
hardest workers
Right,
in the organization.
right, right, right.
I
So
know
it's
way more people who quote unquote made that ain't paid dues since they left undergrad and they walk around in t-shirt and they don't want to come and help out even with the undergraduate chapter they came through unless it's homecoming or intake. Bye.
yeah.
You heard what she said.
Side note. Side note, did we ever work out that plug for the paraphernalia? Though I just want to have
It's
that on.
not one site. It's multiple sites that I shop on.
Okay, but I just want to make sure. Did you ever talk to him, Luke, so we can get some free stuff? I mean,
What I didn't have nothing to do with it. It's her all her. What I got to do with
come on,
it?
Portia. Come
It's
on,
all
Portia.
her.
I want to get a
I don't
sweater.
I don't even get nothing free. I buy the stuff that I wear
You
or people
should
gift
though.
it
You
to me.
should.
You are a very
And
great
you, like,
person for all these people that you are getting stuff from. Very good
yeah,
ambassador.
yeah. That's all I'm
I
saying.
know I
Mhm.
started
I
to put
want to.
something on today, but I said I was gonna break it up.
Hey,
I mean,
keep rocking it. Just get us something free. As a matter of fact,
Oh my
if
god,
if
I'm
we
not
want to
getting
work
nothing free. How am I
hey,
gonna get
real
y'all
talk.
something free?
If we want to work out a sponsorship, we could do that too. Just go ahead and give him the info. Give him the info. Send it over to HR. We'll get it taken care of.
HR is his wife.
Yeah, I just think
HR is his
I
wife.
think what we're all saying.
Not
I'm
wrong.
just a little bit more vocal about it, and I've been this way. Um, Even to the point where some of my old heads said I was disrespectful, but whatever. Um, is that we got to do better. We do condone it, but you know, I'm gonna push. While we condoning that, we need to push longevity. We need to push because if you compare the number of people active and financial to the number of people that are walking around alive with these letters, it's disgraceful. So, how about we push that?
Yeah,
I
You
agree.
pay your dues past undergrad. You contribute past undergrad. You check in on your undergrad chapter other times during the year than homecoming and intake season.
yeah,
We do condone it. But what I'm going to say is we have to be better. And just because you went through it don't mean that it make it right or that it's
yeah.
something that should continue. And I'm going to say this because I heard several cases now, which I do think is a little extreme, but I can see their perspective. Is some people feel like that we just need to do away with undergrad chapters and just have grad chapters. or all that kind of stuff. We don't want that kind of thinking to catch hold, because all of these orgs started as undergraduate organizations. So, but we just have to prioritize different things, because I hate to say it like this, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but they can't help you if they dead. They can't contribute if they dead, and you ain't gonna have no chapter if they dead or severely injured.
I was gonna bring some. You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna just go ahead and bring it up. So, and I was ready to move on past the topic, but I gotta ask this question: would it be insensitive for them to make him an Omega?
Yes, it
It
would.
ain't gonna matter.
Okay,
It would. Yeah,
Why
it
would his
would.
why,
And the reason why, because I kind of know where you're going, is like we in regards to that Tennessee. It was a probate, and they had a moment of silence. Um, if I'm gonna be honest with you, like I ain't got nothing against no Omega, nothing. My best friend that passed away was an Omega, but
my best friend
I
is
felt
Omega.
that wasn't. Yeah, I feel like that would. I feel like even the gesture was insensitive. Like that's my opinion. Like I feel like the gesture was insensitive because at the end of the day, you can't bring them back.
no.
Like that's the thing about things that are final and the way
Yep.
that like nah, bro, nah. It's like real talk. If I was the basilisk of the supreme or international basilisk, in my opinion, I'd have been like, hey, whoever's pledging y'all cross, but we just really need to be quiet right now. That's me. Because here's the thing. Going through the steps and process, I've lost family members where you get that call. When you get a call and they be like, hey, is this the parent or this is the loved one or this the person, or you got a detective that knock on your door at a certain time of night, and then they go through that process of explaining it, and then it hits you, and then there's like a fog that comes over you. And then I'm looking at all these organizations still function as business as usual. Like that's hard to take when I'm still have to bury my child. But if they did look online, they looking at the organizations that he wanted to be a part of, going like it's nothing. It's almost like how would a loved one feel?
But what is Omega supposed to do?
What are
Because
they
none
supposed to
of
do?
this, like I
Mm,
said, this was not a
mm,
ritual. This was not official. It is not aligned with
mhm.
anything that they outlined for you to do as far as membership intake. These was people's personal choice. So are we saying that all Omega Sci-Fi membership should cease, or that nobody should have a probate?
No, what I'm saying is be a little more empathetic. That's what I'm saying. The
In what
reason
way?
why is so in my opinion, have your probate. But some in regards of that particular chapter, I wouldn't have did that. I
You
wouldn't have
don't
had a
think they
moment
should
of
have had a
silence.
moment of silence for him?
No, no, I don't. I would me personally, if this is Quan talking. If this was Quan and I was the international basilisk of that organization, I would let everybody cross, but I wouldn't let people probate. That's me. The reason
How is
why
that fair
is
to the people who didn't do nothing wrong?
and I agree, but how is that fair to how is that fair for a mother to bury their child?
But that has nothing to officially do with Omega Sci-Fi.
Correct, but it's an aspect of public opinion, and it's an aspect of public empathy. That's what I'm saying.
I think we're gonna agree to disagree, because who knows
That's
how many
cool.
people were in that pipeline. And I don't know that you penalize an entire however many people because people decided to go against what's documented
but see,
by the organization.
I see both sides. Here we go.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be the guy in the middle, right? I'm not in the middle on the screen, but I'm gonna be the guy in the middle, right? I see both sides to what you're saying. Portia is saying, Portia's looking at it from the inside out view. I know how these things work. I understand what should happen, and based on what I know that should happen, this is an unsanctioned event, and that group of people should be punished, not the organization as a whole. Quan is saying, from public opinion, the parents, the community, they see it as an organization as a whole. It doesn't matter in their mind about how it works on the inside out, because for them, that's not how they see it. They see Omega Psi Phi is the reason why my child is gone. They're seeing as that organization is the reason why my best friend gone. So because of that, Quan is saying, based on court of public opinion, just shut it all down. That doesn't mean that you don't
Every
cross brothers.
Omega that's in the influx right now, you get them niggas a piece of paper and say welcome.
You read them in, and that's it. That's what. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. I'm not saying. Am I saying I agree? I'm not really saying I agree one way or another, because I guess because I see both sides now. If you hadn't said what you said, Portia, then I would have been all on Quan's side. I'd be like, yeah, dog. But saying it from your perspective, I get it, because of the fact that it's the lens that you look from. It's the vantage point. So I think
Right.
I get it on both sides.
So
That's
yeah,
messed up.
yeah. I mean, just my opinion. I don't.
And
I
how
don't. I
long
don't
do
think
you
that
do
you're
that? Is it just the spring? Is it the fall and the spring? What's the cutoff? Is it a month after? Is it 6 months after? Is it the whole year? What's an acceptable amount of time for that?
So here's a good way to look at it. Here's a good way to look at it. And I got to bring it back to this particular situation. Robert Champion, right? The whole band was shut down for how many? What was it? How many years? 4 years, somewhere
it
around
was a
there.
minute.
Right.
I don't want to quote it, but it
But
was
it
a
was
minute.
only a group of guys that was involved in that. That was an unsanctioned situation that was not involved by the organization as a whole. But public opinion is going to say, yeah, we need to shut all of this down.
That was a marching band program associated with one institution that
Right.
encompassed
But
300 to 400 kids.
but
We're talking
but
about
we talking about
multiple
only a couple of
schools.
kids that were actively involved in that particular. That was not a
So no, no,
full
okay, I got
organization
what
that
you're
was
saying.
involved in that.
So how long does nobody from Omega Psi Phi probate? That's what I'm asking you.
Well, I don't have the specific time frame. The reason why is because I'm not that bassless. But I will tell you this much: I wouldn't do it this spring, for sure.
So if you just so happen to cross in the spring at a school
Mhm.
in Timbuktu, too
Mhm.
bad for you. But if you cross in the fall, we should be over it by then. Like what we saying?
I mean, it's six and one hand, half a dozen another. Period. So I mean, but I'm saying, but we're doing moments of silence for a dude. I hate to sound insensitive, but for a
They
dude you
didn't have to
killed.
acknowledge it at all. They won't there. They ain't had nothing to do with it.
Right, but your brother did though. You associate like here's the crazy thing about opinion and when people are on the outside looking in, them everybody now is looking at all divine nine people as killers.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Like that's because and then the words and terms that people use in this ritual when we know for a fact that wasn't rituals. It was a set that was people decided to do it that shouldn't have been doing it. So moving forward, because we in a
So now
digital
are we
age,
saying that if one marching band gets shut down for hazing, all of them do?
no, but
What's
can I
the
tell you this though?
difference?
No, no,
What's
no,
the
no. But can
difference?
I tell you this? Can I tell you this though? Prairie View was shut down for a little minute because of what happened with Robert Champion.
For sure.
People had to come to Prairie View and basically be like, since that happened over there, and because that happened overall, we want to make sure because we know there's allegations of it. We know y'all had popped it off, but we just didn't catch y'all, and nobody didn't die. Like that's the only difference. I could say specifically for PV, that's how it went down. But in regards of other people and whatnot, like what I'm saying is we already have IMDP training, risk management training. And so we can't be insensitive and be like, well, gee, they knew what they was doing. They made that decision, which they did. But when do as black people we take a step back and okay, we don't remove the organizations because you're right, everybody didn't get punished. But what message are we sending outside of a moment of silence?
So I
Like
think
Them
why they didn't
having
pay
a
for the
what
funeral if
probate
that's the
is
what
not
case?
Quan
gonna
is
stop them
saying
from hazing. The
that
probate is not gonna stop them from hazing.
that is true, right?
That's not that's I'm telling you right now, if you do something like that, you have to announce it. But then
Say,
you
bro,
got to give people the option to get their money back. Cause I don't want to have a tea party. I don't agree with that.
and here's the crazy thing, and that's cool, love. But here's the crazy thing: then you gonna have people that be like, I want to be made, and you still gonna have people taking that risk.
So them not having a probate don't change nothing.
So Portia, I get what you're saying. What up, Carlos? I gotta shout my former student out. Member of Blue and Gold March Machine. But no, so Portia, I agree with what you're saying. Them not having a probate does not stop anything. No, I get that wholeheartedly. Again, I also get what Quan is saying because what Quan is basically saying is it shows even from an outward perspective, again, for somebody who does not understand how these things work inside, from an outward perspective, it shows that you at least care, right? That you show a little
They
care from
still Omegas, so
that.
because they don't have a probate, is we care about him.
I'm gonna shut it down from a
So they're
outward
not gonna
appearance
come
from a
out at
world.
all. They're not gonna
That's
come
not what
out
he
at
said.
all.
That's nobody. He
No,
said
but
he's
I'm
not gonna give a
asking.
timeline.
So eventually, something's gonna come out with them in it.
Correct.
Photo shoot, something. So what we
Yeah,
saying? Oh, as a result, we're not gonna have no probates.
Yeah,
They
if you
still
give
Omegas.
a directive from the Grand Bosselors, right, and say we're shutting down probates, that is at least a gesture to say, hey, we recognize what's going on,
y'all
and as an organization,
put like this, put put like this, bro. We can, of course, we can agree to disagree. It's still family, but I put like this: that boy was buried Saturday. I done seen six probates since then.
that's
I'm
true.
just saying,
Which
and I didn't read the
and if you
comments,
know
and
anything
and I
about
and
how
I didn't
this
read, but
works,
but
they
what
stuff was already in process.
But nobody said
correct,
don't cross
and
the
here,
don't cross the kids.
yeah,
And hold
but
on, here's the other
here's the,
thing. Here's the other thing. So now they at a school. Everybody else get the probate. We gotta sit in the corner and watch and post pictures when we did nothing wrong.
what's the difference between the organizations that Southern? All of them can't do it either.
I don't think that's right.
Eh, hey, she stand
You
on
done
business.
So
already
I
paid
mean,
your money, turned in your paperwork. You done did all this, and now boom. I ain't had nothing to do with it. If I was crossing Zeta down there, I'm madder than a mother.
I feel you.
I get it that
I
he
feel you.
passed away, but what about my time? I'm talking about even the official MIP process. You just don't get nothing. I ain't do nothing wrong. I'm coming to take my little class and I'm going home. And then I don't know when I'm gonna get my money back. And I ain't got no letters. Um
So
that's tough,
all
but
of
for
the reason.
them Omegas at these other schools, they just gonna be the t-shirt boys for the next however long.
But that's the thing though. That's the same thing what we're saying that is the problem. Is because
What's the
like
problem?
that's the because the problem is, as our culture, we're focusing on being made than members. So while I'm
I
agreeing with I'm agreeing with everything you saying in regards to, being financial, being paid, be doing this, yada yada. But the truth is, this is gonna be cyclical. We know they're not gonna stop glazing. We know they're not, because somebody in their mind gonna be like, I can get away with it because I've been getting away with it for this long. Until somebody else. So if I was the international bassist, I would be like, yeah, bro, I can't do this no more. From the insurance policies to so forth and so on. No, y'all didn't do it, but this is our problem. And maybe that's the difference, because me, I've always been taught it don't be your fault, but it be your problem. Same thing. It's no difference when you in a band program. And it'd be a whole nother section that did something, but none of us can go to the football game. It was a whole nother situation. 2000 fall 2008 at PV. It was an accusation of hazing. Prof Ed almost lost his job, and then we were supposed to play a school that came to our house, and we couldn't even play them. The whole band was suspended for 2 weeks, and we didn't even do nothing. The box ain't do nothing. I mean, again, like six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. But what lesson are we going to show that? Because, like you're saying, it's not those kids' faults, but business as usual.
don't know that it's business as usual. We don't know what they have going on internally.
We don't know what's going on internally, but to say that the public
I don't
opinion
know
to
that them
agree.
not having probates is going to change people's opinion about their organization.
What I'm saying is, it may not change that the opinion, but what I'm saying is it's a mere gesture. Is he got buried Saturday. It's been 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying. Even like the old folks say, put him in the ground. Like, put him in the ground first. But
Even
that's
the
me.
grad chapters had a little coming out. I don't know. Okay,
So
let's move on.
I do want to say that y'all have woken Portia up. She started kicking the leg. I see it all. Uh, but I also do want to say I appreciate you guys in the comment section for clarifying. Y'all, the 100 was only gone for a year. I don't know why. It felt like it was longer than a year. It just felt like it was longer than a year. It felt like they were gone for like 4 years. It just felt like it.
Ooh, we talking
Okay,
about?
Fam.
fam.
Oh.
I just okay. So them having I'm man out. Other people feel like them having probates makes it look bad. What's the time period on that?
I mean,
Mm.
I would definitely say like I agree with Quan. At least for the spring, at least at minimum. At max maybe a full year. But you ain't talking about doing it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. No.
Here's the crazy thing. When the young man who was just with his line brothers at PV that was pledging Sigma passed away, we was every organization on the yard was gone for a year and a half, until where the national organization was begging them, hey, can we please, because we ain't gonna have no chapters. And then they was like, y'all got 2 weeks to pledge, and that's it.
To me, that's extreme. That's like extreme reaction. It's not even logical.
Yeah, but somebody died too, though.
Yeah, somebody died, but
Eh, okay. All right. We this is the first time we didn't ever got to this point. Hey, it's all good, man. I appreciate it, man. But hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. We still love each other. But I do want to say welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, music education, and more. Again, don't forget you can go ahead and donate to the scholarship fund if you haven't done so already. The link is inside of the description. Also, don't forget you can get anything in our store for 30% off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Y'all go ahead and keep those conversations going inside of the chat. Also, don't forget you can go ahead and go ahead and get super chats in, and we will read them right here on the screen. We have no problem, and we'll discuss it. Ain't no problem with that. All right. Also, make sure you hit that like button. Go ahead and hit the like button to get the likes up. I ain't gonna be upset if y'all go ahead and hit the like button, man. Just go ahead and tickle it. Just a little bit. Just tickle it. All right.
How
With
you
that
did
being,
that?
huh?
Because man, I'm trying to learn this new program. I'm trying to fit. Oh, she said she had to slide.
She had a
Damn.
slider. She had a slider. It's a slider.
I'm over here using my napkin talking.
Yeah, I see you. I see. All right.
Damn, I need to all
So
this money.
we
You ain't got a damn slide. Come on, MacBook.
hey, it's all right. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the next topic. I'm proud of you too, Carlos. I got to catch up with you one of these days. But I want to go ahead and jump into another topic. The topic is slightly different and a little bit out of the scope of what we would generally talk about, but it's all good because of the fact that we can always tie it back into band life. Now, what I will say before I get into this or before we talk about this, I don't think I've gotten this whole share the screen thing right yet on this thing, but if not, then I will talk about what we're about to see. So let's go ahead and look at this real quick. There we go. If you can't hear it, let me know. That's a
Yeah, we can't hear that, bro.
that's a commercial though.
Yeah, but we can't hear the commercial though.
You can't hear the commercial at all.
Nah.
All right. So I'll go ahead and let you guys know what it is. Basically, Anthony Mackie did um, an interview on the Pivot, and what he was basically saying is that he started out by talking about the fact that he's seen stars go from he's seen people go from not having a role to being one of the biggest stars in the world. And he ultimately goes further into basically saying is that success is not earned, it's given. He said that we were taught wrong. We were always taught that if you did this, you went to school, you got your whatever, and you went out, that you would be successful. And he said we were taught wrong. He said, and he was in a room full of football players, but he was basically saying something to the degree of, there were people out there who were stronger, faster, better, more athletic, but somebody went out there and said, you gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one that gets picked. And so, with that being said, for me, it really brought me to a mindset and a thought process of how we process what success looks like. And is Anthony Mackie right? Is there validity to what he's saying? And just to kind of go and give some extra context to this, I think about this, and shout out to everybody who's gotten their doctorate degrees, man. I actually want to go ahead and shout them out real quick. I've seen a lot of people on my timeline who have gotten their doctorate degrees in music or whatever, or just whatever. You went and you accomplished it, so I'm glad and I'm excited for you. But I'm thinking about all these people who specifically, and we're going to keep it in the band world, who go and achieve these higher educations, getting these doctorate degrees, specifically with the hopes of being in somebody's university band most of the time. But you don't be the one that gets picked. It's somebody else. And not to say that you're not going to be successful in being, continuing where you are, whether you're at a middle school or a high school, but you did this for maybe the gain of going into somebody's university band and achieving that success. But because that person got picked, you didn't receive that level of success. So what do you guys think about that? Portia, give me your thoughts on that.
I would agree with tape set player one. I think opportunities are given. Hard work makes you successful at it, but you have to get that opportunity um, to be successful. Like I'm gonna tell you, for example, every like career I've ever had, a soror like put in a good word for me. Now, once I got in the door, I worked hard to show myself, capable, and what my abilities were. But that opportunity granted to me came from somebody speaking up for me, putting in a word for me, vouching for me. I wouldn't have had that opportunity, but once I got that opportunity, it was my responsibility to not make them look bad, but to show what I could do so that I could continue to grow and move up. And that's kind of what I did when I worked in social services, and it's definitely what I did with where I work now. That initial position, I've had four since then, all promotions that I earned. So I think once I got in there, I worked hard, which made me successful at it. But that initial opportunity was given to me because of my connection to these two separate sorors.
So I got a question about what you're saying, and I can definitely agree with that as far as terminology being used, right? Success versus opportunity. But I do have a question with that, right? And you would probably answer this yes or maybe no, but do you feel like there was somebody who probably could have been better than you in the space that you were in and just did not receive that opportunity?
I don't know that. I mean, at that point, I had 5 years of Medicaid knowledge, and it was a Medicaid policy and procedure job.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there may have been somebody who um, may have had 10 years or 15 years or whatever the case may be, but it wasn't like I wasn't qualified for the job.
Fair, fair, and yeah, I'm not saying that you weren't qualified, but the way that I'm looking at this and I'm processing kind of how the conversation went specifically with Anthony Mackie is, yeah, you are qualified, right? But there are also people that may be just as qualified, if not more, right? But you
Well,
were
I
the
wasn't
one,
the only candidate for the job.
right? But that's what I'm saying. But you were the one, right? You were the one that they said you are hired.
Yeah, but I had to go through 3 rounds of interviews. Those people went through the same interviews I went through. She
Right.
just got me that initial interview.
Fair. But
That
again, you were the one. You were
Yeah,
you were the one.
but I could have been bad at it and could have got fired in the first 90 days.
that may be true, but
And
that doesn't negate the fact that you were the one. See, I see,
yeah,
like
but I
you're
but
talking about everything
Well, I
after.
wasn't the one. There were actually two positions, and somebody else got one too.
But you see, you splitting hairs here. You stay with the point, because you get what I'm saying.
So I don't. I'm trying to understand your point. So because my soror handed my resume to the person that was hiring, and they gave me they interviewed me along with the other 6 other people. I took somebody's spot.
No, what I'm saying is, and well, technically, but not totally. What I'm saying is that you were the one that was hired. Period, point blank, right? You were the one that got the job. There could have been someone behind you or someone that could have gotten that same job that had the same years of experience as you, that all of these different things, and it could have been the dream job that they've been waiting on, but you were the one that got picked, right? Yes,
That's how all jobs work.
that's how jobs work. We get that. I get all of that. Because I knew you were about to come with that. That's how it works. No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that just going specifically off of the conversation that Mackie was having, he was basically saying this, the focus or the focal point of this was the fact that he was saying that a lot of those situations like that are not always earned, they're given. Someone gave you that job. Someone who worked just as hard as you, or may have worked harder, didn't get the job. But they were told, if I worked hard, if I did this, if I did that, then I would be this. I would get this.
Yeah, but I disagree. I disagree with that, and so I'm more on Portia's side. I do agree. People give you opportunities, but you earn your keep. Like prime example with me at Worthing, they had 7 band directors in 4 years, and then when I got there, it was like nobody wanted that job. The truth is nobody wanted it, and I'm not saying I got it because nobody wanted it, but
Yeah,
they
that
saw
was
the
because nobody
difference in
wanted
me.
it though.
No, no, no. Nobody wanted it, but okay, so cool. I got the opportunity because nobody wanted it, but I made it a household name in Houston. I
Fair.
earned that.
I don't disagree with that. That
Right.
I
So
don't
so,
disagree
so
with
that's
that
what I'm
part. But I
right.
because I get
So
what
that's
you're
so that's what
saying. Go ahead.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like in regards to her, her sorrow was like, hey, we got this job opening, but she went through 3 rounds of interviews. So she could have stopped after one. You made two and three, and then went through a probation phase to maintain and keep the job. And then they saw your worth and value, and then they promoted you. So I I disagree with my New Orleans brother saying in regards of it's given and not earned. No, because here's the thing. He in that same interview, he talks about how on one street in New York, he went to go see James Earl Jones. And then he saw the end of James Earl Jones' monologue, and then he transitioned and went to see Denzel Washington's monologue. And he saw Denzel Washington sign 1,000 autograph, 1,000 playbills every night that he was doing it. And Anthony Mackie asked him, it was like, bro, so you telling me you gonna sign, autograph all these playbills every night? And Denzel Washington say, bro, I was a garbage man picking up trash. Whatever I need to do to not go back being a garbage man, that's what I'm gonna do. So if I gotta sign 1,000, I'm 1,000. These people, like the Kobe Bryants, yeah, his daddy was a Bean Bryant was a basketball player, but that doesn't mean he becomes Kobe Bryant without earning and putting in the work. So I think
No.
honestly, and from a spiritual standpoint, most people stay at the same level because either God is protecting you from it or you're really not ready to go to that next level. That's why I could look at myself. The reason why I'm not on a collegiate level is because apparently the my creator is decided you're not ready for that. Maybe it's something with time management, organizational skills, something that at this particular level I need to teach you because God is not going to mess up his resume on you if you're not ready. So if
So
you don't get that opportunity, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say. So I'm gonna tell you like this. I absolutely 100% agree with what you said, right? But I already know I'm gonna always provide
Mm,
opposition, right? You.
true.
So what you're saying is what you just said was you weren't ready to be on that level, but there are people
I'm
who are
not
on you. There are people who are on that level that you are better than, but they got that opportunity.
correct. Oh yeah.
So
Right.
that's
Right.
what I'm saying. You that's exactly the point. They got that opportunity, and you are better than them.
But they won't maintain or earn like they won't maintain that opportunity. Like that's the eventually it's going to expire. That's the thing.
And that's what I'm
Eventually it's
saying. You
going to
still
expire.
need hard work, skill, and wherewithal to survive
That
in these
ethic,
positions.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
You
because
do.
I
again,
can't speak for
Because
nobody else,
I'm
but
not
I'm gonna tell
saying
you,
that
she
you are wrong. I'm not saying that you are wrong that you don't need hard work. But here's my big but. The but of that is that some people, while not working that hard, are still in those positions and looking as though they are thriving.
yeah, but the truth is the truth. Like let's keep it a thought while. Even there's some band programs that's like stick with band. People think they're good, but they ain't.
Right. I don't disagree with you. I don't
Or
disagree
or
at
either
all.
the
But they're
or
in
either
the
the band is
position.
functioning,
They in the
but or
position,
either
and
the
people think that they great, even though
yeah,
they're
but
not.
and guess what? But and guess what? As soon as that their time that they finish their dash at that particular job, and the right person will be in. I believe this with my whole heart. Sometimes the wrong person get the job to mess it up for you, so when you come, you can shine your expertise on it.
I can agree with
For
that.
Portia to get four, five promotions within the last 4, 5 years, they see an aspect of value. For me to take the band program at Worthing from 8 people to where we got 60 plus people, I gotta be doing something right.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all.
But But I also think that our perception of opportunities and perception of things that we attain is flawed too. And what I mean by that is we know every job has an aspect of nepotism. Every job, every career, every field. Let's be real. Bronny James deserves to be in the G League, not the NBA.
I
At best,
agree.
he averaged 5 points at USC. Now, as a as a father, I look at LeBron James as he's been in the league 20 years. For 18, 17, 16 years, he's been missing his um his son play basketball. In his mind, he like, I'm gonna do whatever it needs to take for me to link up with my son and enjoy these moments while I can. That's nepotism. Cool. So favor ain't fair for him. Because I look at it from the point of view, his father earned that type of favor for what he did for the NBA. Another person may be like, that's wrong. He needs to earn his own keep. But if you're supposed to be in the NBA, you're gonna get in the NBA, bro. If it's
My
destined for
my
you.
I'm gonna say this. Everybody else do it.
Yeah,
They helping each other out.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Everybody else is doing it.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody else is recommending people, helping each other out, all this other stuff because I don't mean no harm. I'm more educated than my manager, the director over my whole department.
Mhm.
But I ain't making what she making because I'm a woman and I'm black. I got to go above and beyond. So I no. I don't
I
see a
mean,
problem with us helping one another
yeah,
out because they sure do
I
it.
don't either. I don't either. And if we're gonna just keep it 1,000, not to go back to the Greek convo, but let's not make it seem like we didn't join these organizations for that, for not for that benefit either. Because I know, because if it wasn't for peace be unto him, Sylvester Turner, we'd have never got the nomination to go to DC. If it wasn't for the people, uh, he was Greek. My former principal, he was a Sigma.
Yep.
He got cool with Eric the hip hop preacher, who the Eric the hip hop preacher knew the guy at Hope City Church, and Hope City paid for the trip, like gave us over $100,000. That's what I'm saying. Like we're in these organizations, like we're Masons and Eastern Stars and Zetas and Alphas for the network. So you telling me, real talk, if when I have a son, he ain't gonna get an Alpha scholarship from somewhere, and I'm financial, man, please. You got three sons, no, two sons, right?
Two.
Luke,
Two.
yeah, you got two. I don't care. Your sons will get a scholarship from Alpha or Phi Mu Alpha or Kappa Kappa Psi. That's why you joined them. That don't make sense. I feel like real talk people are really not using their networks as they should.
Okay. So I seen him backstage nodding and shaking his head and everything else, and I want to go ahead and add him into this conversation and see what he got to say. So let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's see. There we go.
What up? Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
So,
Look, I think you should have let Portia hear that excerpt. I know you couldn't pull it up, what your boy said, because when you think about it, I wholeheartedly agree with him. He basically is saying that like even though like Portia, how you was like you had to apply to the job and you got picked and somebody else got picked for another position, at the end of the day, somebody picked you. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the initial person is who he was talking about. He said simply, we got to stop teaching our kids that hard work gonna pay off, and if you do all these reps, it's gonna pay off. At the end of the day, somebody has to see that hard work, and then that's when he get examples about like you getting in position with those people that can actually see the hard work. So it's a twofold. You know what I'm saying? It just I agree with the example that he gave with the sports and how he did all these motion pictures and Broadway, but somebody still had to see him and give him the opportunity to be Captain America. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that if you'd have heard it the way and like listen to the interview, that's the way it would have went. But I wanted to say y'all on here speaking, y'all preaching tonight. Especially you, Quan over there, to be real. So I was like, this nigga went straight New Orleans. Fuck out cutting corners. It's tough, man. But this is a great topic. I want to get on here and tell y'all ain't cutting no corners with this. You know what I'm saying? This is a tough one, but I just want to give y'all props. 'Cause a lot of people don't, you know.
Man, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it, bro.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to actually help expound on that. I tried to give it the best way I could,
Yeah,
barring the fact that the audio didn't work. I got to get that fixed, man. But you new program, you trying out new stuff, man. Build the plane while you fly, man.
yeah, that was a damn. He spoke on a lot of stuff, especially coming from
Yeah.
New Orleans, and like the way he was flexing. Like I was chilling with Whitney Marcellus, and I'm like, God damn, this thing he did a lot because a lot of people try to take his New Orleans card because he don't really show that much love to the city as people
Yeah,
claim. But that was a hell of a damn interview, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was.
How do see
You
now?
have
Now
anything to?
oh, go ahead, Portia.
I was gonna ask if you have anything to say about our first topic.
I knew Caleb. And it's crazy, he played in New Orleans All Star Band, and like I just think that. Like I said, Quan wasn't cutting no corners. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, and like I said, y'all always spitting on some right points. Like Portia, you was saying you feel for like well earlier when y'all was like the band director. You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump to conclusions. You know what I'm saying? That's. I'm glad that y'all kind of gave that grace on that because people just take his head off when they see it. But if he associated with it, I know Safi. You know what I'm saying? All points. But as somebody who aspired to be Greek, you know what I'm saying? At one time, Divine Nine. You know what I'm saying? It's really just one of them things that I think that the community of Divine Nine, you know what I'm saying, y'all have the voice to change anything, you know what I'm saying? And why I say Quan was spitting because how he was like, we all know stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? We all know like the things that happen, but my thing is just moving forward, you know what I'm saying? But my biggest problem with this was as somebody who knew him, I hate that people try to take this man debt and use it for their own personal agendas and personal gains. Like if you hated a Divine Nine organization, you try to use this man debt to bash that organization,
Mhm.
or like if you had another problem that was wrong at the end of some people will try to say like it's not all us. I commend a lot of people who stood up and said, I'm a part of this Divine Nine, I'm a part of Omega, I'm a part of whatever, this, that, and the third, and I don't stand by what happened to the kid. At the end of the day, we lost a life. You know what I'm saying? You give your condolence to the family because nothing else matters at the end of the day. A life was lost. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's why I said y'all had a very mature conversation on this. You know what I'm saying? And Portia, I didn't know Zeta was that strict over that shit. I'm like, I'm learning something. You know what I'm saying? So
When I first came in, it was not. But as this stuff started happening and them
hmm
lawsuits started coming, they was
hmm
like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
man.
hold up." And it's even to the point where when you get trained, you sign something that say you understand that these things are against us. And once you sign that paper, you're going against us. So if it's a lawsuit, you understood that this was wrong. They might sue us, but you liable. It's
right.
I'm
And that's
telling you, it's a complete they did a complete overhaul of this thing. And that's why it's all in black and white. You can't say you ain't know. That's why I told them students, hey, I'm telling you right now, I came through this chapter. I don't care what I went through. I look good in orange. I got on orange today, but I don't look good all orange. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna throw y'all right on under that bus
and like
and
Quan
not
earlier when
blink
you
twice. Did you snitch on them? I did, and I'll do it again. Please.
Yeah, man. Like quite how you said earlier, is like is like what you was raised off and what you perceived it to be, and it wasn't. I think most Greeks and people need to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? I think that story of when you got into it and you start realizing some of the stuff that you might have did or participated was wrong, or like or you might have realized how somebody perceived this organization. Not saying you're regretting being a part of it, but some stuff is just unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? I think that this
Yeah.
should be like a lesson, bro, that like you save another person's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, or just like do better going forward. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, RIP to Caleb and the family because the whole city hurting behind this one. You know what I'm saying? The whole Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
whole I didn't think about how y'all said the band director. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Shouts out. I mean, you know, R.I.P. I mean, prayers to Southern University of Marshall, man. 'Cause there's a lot of kids they lose in the short amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just crazy. And then to see this past weekend, we had a hell of an amazing band combine. On a positive note, in New Orleans, you know, we do the band combine. We invite a lot of band directors to the city to audition these kids. To see that this dude is one a product of New Orleans, and seeing how many more future musicians that. That's gonna come out of we, and they had to see Kelly picture up there in front. You know what I'm saying? So it just very sad situation. And people, if y'all watching this or watching this, like, walk on eggshells before you speak on certain situations. You know what I'm saying? But and give condolences first to that man family, because he did lose his life, and it's nothing to play about or use as selfish gain. So that's my spin on it. You know?
Not to mention, I know that the whole like East Baton Rouge parish hurting. There was another situation that's separate, but a young boy that was on the bus got into it with another little boy and was killed on a school bus. Like them people hurting, man, Baton Rouge, bro. Like, and I can't even explain. Like I talked to some jukes and they're hurt, bro. Like it's just different, bro. Like it's just different. It's just conversation that we, of course, that we can have like offline, but for them people, dog, they hurting, bro, and it's different. It's real different.
Yeah, tough.
You know, I want to quickly switch gears real quick, and it's only because of I don't know, I can't remember who said it, either it was you, Justin, or Quan. Mackie don't get no love in the city. Like, that's not a thing.
Uh, I
I mean, he
think he
pop a
do.
dot.
But he
It's a
popping out. Yeah,
point
yeah.
in time. He, you know how New Orleans is, or like some people, like, you know what I'm saying. It was something he said in one of his interviews that people just didn't like. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like New Orleans, we have a Quan. I probably did it to you. You from Houston, like Quan. You know what I'm saying? You're from the city, yo. So you
Yeah.
from the class. Like when you leave for so long, you know what I'm saying? You lose your New Orleans card, but
You lose your
you
twang.
yeah, I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was that deep from New Orleans. I thought he probably been from like La Class or Killing somewhere. But then he went to 35, and then he went to Noka. So that's New Orleans enough. I don't care what he did afterwards. You went to
Yeah.
Noka. So, yeah, that's what it was. So
Yeah, and I guess for me it was weird because I was like, every time I see him in an interview, he's repping New Orleans. So it's interesting to hear that New Orleans people be like, yeah, we don't necessarily.
if I could find what he said,
Yeah,
when
but it's like he say he from New Orleans, but it's like you would have never known Captain America from New Orleans, bro.
right,
You
think
know,
think
just being honest.
it should have. I'm saying like it should be plastered more. I guess we should celebrate him more, but
Yeah,
by not
we should.
knowing, he been the screw Captain America. He was an 8 Mile. He was in a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, it should be one of those things like he's from New Orleans. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't know.
A lot of people didn't
I,
know.
I
Is it his responsibility to plaster it?
That's what I was about to say. Like, because look,
Okay,
let's
touche,
be real. Let's
touche,
be real. The man is trying to.
touche.
The man is trying to make it in the industry. So he's not.
He made
He's
it.
not being.
He ain't
No,
no
no, 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 no,
making
no,
it.
no,
He
no, no, no,
made
no.
it.
No, let's be really clear. Because the first movie that I ever saw Anthony Mackie on was that movie that he did with him. And what's my chick name? She just got that award. God darn it, I can't. But he had to impregnate all of these chicks. Um, Man, y'all gonna make me look this movie up. But that's the first time I saw Anthony Mackie. I didn't really see
Say
Anthony Mackie
that
like that
that that
until he was
that
Tupac.
move.
And a lot of people didn't care about him being Tupac either. People were like,
Even
dog, who is this dude? That is trash. And then he popped
hold
up
on.
in 8
That
Mile. And then he popped up
say
in
and
8
that
Mile. Then he became Papa Doc. Like, so you think that he had time to rep from
so
New
hold
Orleans?
on.
He was trying to
yes,
get
yes.
he was trying to get to the Captain America status.
you knew
Now
you
he
knew it.
there. So now every time you
You
see him interview,
you knew
now
it.
he from New Orleans.
So you knew in 8 Mile and Tupac that he was from New Orleans.
No. But that's
That's
my
the
point.
problem.
Exactly. That's my
But
That's the
that's
problem.
my point. Why would I
exactly.
That's a
Why would
problem.
I need to know?
Right?
I'm trying to get to
Talk
that
like he
status.
from New Orleans in a Tupac movie.
Hey,
Right.
It ain't
hey,
about talking.
let me
You
tell
know
y'all
She
people.
hate
something.
me.
You know the people.
Let me
Thank
tell
you.
y'all something.
She hate me. That was the
We
name of the
didn't
movie. She hate
we
me.
didn't
That movie was good, by the
we
way.
didn't know he was from New Orleans when he what's that movie?
He said
We didn't know he was New Orleans when he was the Falcon. That's the problem. Maybe the
We
Falcon was
know
that
that.
damn bad.
Why
The
would we
Falcon
know
exactly.
was
that?
bad.
A
The
lot of
Falcon
people
was
didn't know he.
bad. That's the problem.
His story, even the Noka kids, we kind of not teased them about being a Noka, but yeah, we teased a couple of them like you're a Noka, you don't even go to real school, you know what I'm saying? You go to performing art school. It's a thing because there's a lot of talented musicians will make you so good to go to Noka, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's another story for another day because that does
Yeah.
happen. But all I'm saying is that a lot of people didn't know he was from New Orleans. I forget what he said in the interview, and it pissed a lot of people off from the. That's like, yeah, he one of them from New Orleans. But anyway, I heard he was trying to build a movie studio down here. I don't know how true it was, you know what I'm saying? That'd be pretty dope, and I bet he get his flowers then. But people from New
That's
Orleans. How many
wrong
you
too
know?
though.
No, it
Yeah, I
is
know.
fucked up.
We
Am I
cheeky.
right?
We
I was
really
about to
cheeky.
say, yeah,
Really cheeky.
y'all
We
know
really
that's
cheeky.
something different. That's that y'all
We
different.
really cheeky.
Y'all
We
Yeah,
really
different.
it's
cheeky
one
though.
of the Orleans people. You know Lil Wayne, you know, even Big Freddie, you know what I'm saying? You know like from New Orleans, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know a
But
lot
what they
Uh,
do is inherently New Orleans. Right? They're rappers from the city. So the way that they even rap there is New Orleans. But you have a actor who has to go into these different roles. That's like all the people, all the European people who come over and they be from Europe, but they play an Americanized role. You don't even know they're not American until you hear them in a random interview. Like Christian Bale. I didn't know Christian Bale wasn't American. That man Batman. Like
you
that's
ain't
how did I
you
know?
ain't know you ain't know Franklin wasn't from America either. I when I found that
yeah,
out, I
I
was like,
didn't either.
Huh.
Yeah, bro. I ain't know
But
Snowfall was
that's my
from
point.
Great
That's
Britain. I ain't
literally
lying.
my point.
Jason Mitchell, another actor from New Orleans. A lot of people ain't know he from
From
New
New Orleans,
Orleans.
yeah.
He from
That's
New
my
Orleans?
cousin.
Exactly, but
It's my
exactly.
cousin.
He
He
played
not my
Easy.
cousin, y'all. I'm
You
lying.
know,
I'm
you know.
lying. I'm
And
lying.
that's
He a
why I
Mitchell
didn't react.
though. But
I
I'm
was gonna
lying.
wait. I
I'm
was gonna
lying.
wait for the punchline, dog. I
I'm
was gonna
lying.
wait for the punchline.
I'm lying, y'all. I'm lying. Easy E
Who
from New Orleans.
Idris Elba. When Idris Elba first came out, we didn't know that dude was British.
Nah. Nah, I
I
didn't.
ain't know.
I didn't.
Like, come on, man.
I
Like,
didn't.
y'all got to get that man some credit, dog. That man, Captain America,
I,
dog,
I, I give him
and
respect.
he
I give
rep
him
New
respect.
Orleans all the time. I ain't seen not one
He do
interview
though.
where
He
he ain't
do.
said he
He
from New
do.
Orleans. Now before then, but when he was trying to get to the big top, now he there. Like you got to remember,
So
this
you,
man said it. He said it himself. He was like, "Dog, this is the first movie I've ever had where it's me as the star." Like you got to realize that. So the
So
whole
he wasn't
time,
the star in the Falcon?
Falcon and the
no,
Winter Soldier, no, he wasn't the
Oh,
star.
true. Okay.
low key the
I'm
Winter
just
Soldier
getting on
was
my
a
Marvel stuff.
Man, you
Yeah,
just
it
not
was a
getting
good
on.
one though.
Come on, man, you got to catch up, brother.
Nah, bro, I got a life. I'm in school. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's been going on before you got in school, my guy. Just saying.
Okay.
But
Let's wrap it up. I gotta read.
okay. Anyway,
yeah.
Gotta read.
all right, brother, man. We're gonna go ahead and drop you off, brother. But man, appreciate you. Appreciate all your kind words. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you over here, dog.
All
Your
right, man.
Mardi
I
Gras
let y'all
videos fire too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
appreciate. I'm going to
Mardi Gras is really fire.
a consortium tomorrow. Like y'all might not know it's tomorrow, but I'm going to
Yeah, I
it.
know it's tomorrow.
Okay, see y'all
Yeah,
there
I was
then.
supposed to come, but they didn't. Yeah, but they didn't approve us.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
12,000. So to go. So
Oh yeah.
Damn.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
For your
yeah.
Well,
band?
Yeah, and that was just the bus.
because
So they didn't
it's
approve
in
us.
Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At the
So that
Stone Mountain Resort.
that makes sense.
At Stone Mountain, yeah. Stone Mountain,
Yeah,
that's
that makes
12,000.
sense. But
Yeah.
you gotta move the kids, and that bus costs a lot. And if that's just for the bus, we're not talking about lodging. We're not talking about food.
Food.
Yeah. So enjoy yourself, my brother. Get some good video. I definitely agree, man. The New Orleans, not New Orleans, the Mardi Gras videos is definitely on it. I mean, as always. I don't know, man.
As
It's like
always.
I told Quan. As a matter of fact, I came up here and I said I don't know why. It just felt different this year. I don't know what it was.
I think it was just more high school going on in college. I think, which I appreciate it. Yeah, high school like
Yeah,
a
that's
whole
what it
Shout out
was.
to Chalmette High School. Let me say that. Shout out to Chalmette High School.
man,
Predominantly white students, marching traditional, and they look good and they sound good.
and that's the
Shout out to the
crazy
band
part.
director at Chalmette. I don't know who he is. Shout out to him.
Yeah, they doing their thing. Is they that's crazy. It's really not a predominantly white school. Now they got a bunch of kids, black dudes in the school, but the band that was just kicking butt. So they may be watching the cool 250, 260 next year. Easy. Yo.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they
Yeah.
look good. They. Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. A part of me was looking at the vid. Dang, where you went?
Man, he just said,
Okay. He was like, and it's gonna be coming faster, faster than this. Just disappeared. But man, I ain't gonna lie. Them bands look good in New Orleans. So I consider. I was like, man, should I move back home?
yeah, go ahead, man.
For a second, I thought, nah,
No, go ahead, man. You ain't got to worry about
nah,
UIL. All you got to do is just get out there and do your thing. Come on, man.
nah, bro. I ain't got no money out there. I ain't got no money out there.
That's fair. I definitely agree with that. All right, man.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and get ready to wrap up because Portia half sleep over there. She about to go to bed on us. The heavier the kick in the leg, the more I know that she's about to pass out. So let's go. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get ready to
Uh,
shut. I can see it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let y'all in on something real quick. She was halfway falling asleep at the beginning of this joint. If y'all would, I didn't put her on screen at the beginning, but y'all should have seen it. She was hitting one of them
try.
numbers. But but before we get out of here, man, I'll go with you first, Portia. Any final thoughts, anything you got for the culture?
Um, I don't want anybody to think I'm insensitive. I think part of my knowledge or part of my hat as being an advisor for almost 10 years, part of my job is to advocate for those students. And so that's kind of my perspective. Um, and why I think it would be, I can see shutting it down. I just don't know for how long and what that real. I don't know that that's going to change anything. I guess that's my perspective, and that I do think that we as a whole, as a divine eye as a whole, we need to come together and try to combat this on a more global scale. Um, and brainstorm ways that we can try to combat some of this. I don't think we're ever going to be able to eradicate it overall, but
yeah,
we do need a meeting of the minds. We do need to come up with some kind of universal way to combat some of this so that we aren't burying any more students, children's brothers, cousins, whatever, bandsmen. Um, it's unimaginable. Like, I feel hurt, and I don't even know that young man, but I know what it's like to bury somebody from your band program. I know what it's like for people to come to me and say, I'm interested in your organization. So I could not imagine recommending somebody for something or talking to a student about it and then they lose their life. So I do feel like we need to be a vocal part of the solution, as a whole, all of the organizations together. So that's my perspective. I didn't say this in the beginning because, to Julian's point, I was half asleep. Shout out to Norfolk State men's and women's basketball. And in the MEAC, they both play tomorrow. And they both play tomorrow. So best of luck to both of our teams.
Yes. Behold the green and gold. Gotta go ahead and get that shout out real quick. Uh Quan, any final thoughts, anything you got for the culture?
uh, yeah. I just want to shout out to all the Texas band directors who are preparing for UIL. Next Thursday is the day. I'm praying in the name of Jesus that all of my HISD band directors do well. Sweepstakes on stage. Big shout out to my seniors. On yesterday, they auditioned well, let me rewind it. Last week, I had students audition for Grambling. Many of them have received scholarships ranging from $26,000 a year. And then on yesterday, they auditioned for Langston University, where all of my seniors, they basically, in scholarship funds, gained over $250,000 worth of scholarship money. We have other auditions coming up. I know Prairie View is Saturday, so I am gonna shout out the home team. But we also have, for those that are staying in Houston, we also have our drumline competition. Um, Langston University is one of our guests, and we should have another collegiate band drumline as well. But King of the Ring tournament, head-to-head battle on stage, mano y mano at the door is $15. If you follow us on our social media platforms, it's $10. And we're also having auditions for Langston University and Texas Southern percussion and wind ensemble throughout the day. It starts at 1 o'clock and ends at 5. So I'm sorry, and at 4. So if you're not doing nothing, come to the South Side where we keep it live and enjoy yourself a very, very outstanding event. And see you there.
Quan, we gotta talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that offline though.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'll fill you in. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't really have much, but what I will say is very quickly, Quan, I want to ask you this quick question. What do you think about doing a student show? It's something I
We
just popped
can.
up in my brain. So
Didn't we do one before?
no. Hear me out. We get some of our former students on here, and we talk about us as directors and what we were able to give to them. And the reason why, let me tell you why the reason why I came up with this. Because my former
You
student
student.
is sitting right there in that comment section. And and
Find it up.
he's a former student from IO, Texas. So I want to put that out there first. But we say behold the green and golden because this young fella that went to Blue and Gold Marching Machine and we done whooped up on them enough times. He feels the need to come in and talk about, it's about the blue and gold and all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, though, he was a good student. During my time, he was a bari saxophone player. Go ahead, Portia, say it.
How y'all been doing in that new conference y'all in though?
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh,
But outside of
girl,
that, though,
girl, you petty, girl. I'm petty too.
yeah. But very good student. At the time, he was my bari saxophone player. Eventually switched over to euphonium. He was actually Tajuddin's student at a particular time, and then he went to A&T. But it just made me think, man, what would it be like if we invited all of our students or the students that could come on the show and talk about how terrible we're as band directors?
That would be fire. That would be fire. Let's do it.
All right.
We got it. We got to make sure we're on time.
Yeah.
We got to
I'll
make
make
sure
sure
we're on time now.
I'll make sure I got it. And that'll give Portia a day off so she can sleep. But so there we go. All right. So Carlos, get yourself ready because I'm coming to you first. All right. But other than that, man, no, I appreciate everybody for checking us out on this episode. Again, don't forget you can go ahead and give and donate to the scholarship fund. Don't forget that the link is inside of the description. So go ahead and hit it. Donate as much as you want. We will not tell you how much to donate. So if you want to donate 100, donate 100, and don't forget that this money, everything that you donate is going to be going to a student who is going to be going to an HBCU band, and so we want to make sure that we put our money where our mouth is. Yes, we get on this channel and we talk a lot about music education, band, HBCU bands, but it's not going to make any sense if we don't continue to support. So go ahead and donate to the scholarship fund. Also, don't forget you can go to our store and get anything that you want and get 30% off your final purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band, and all of that stuff will be inside of the description of this episode. Again, man, I appreciate you guys for checking us out. Remember, we won't be back for 2 weeks. I want to see if we can try to pull this student episode off within the next 2 weeks. So if we can pull this off, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Why you want me to? No. Malik. Oh man, I ain't got nothing else, man. This has been super dope. We will see you all in 2 weeks.